Adrian. Let's start. Maybe.
Okay, it's okay now.
Well, have you ever heard about a kind of puzzle called bridge? It's this game. There are a few rules in this game that we have to follow to complete the puzzle, to solve the puzzle. The first one is we have to make connections between all the the icons that are on the image on your paper. You have to in each point has the number of connections that it has to make with other points, like this. As you can see, we have a lot of points. All of them has a number inside that says how many connections it has to make. We cannot cross the connections, and we can only make one or two connections between each other. So, how can we solve this? Actually, that's the solution. And maybe I'm seeing those kinds of puzzles in a different way if I compare it to a regular person that's not studying what I'm studying, that's not interested in what I'm interested in. So what I see when I look at this, well, I try to find which are the goals, what are the rules that I have to follow, which facts are given, which resources are available, and also who are the players, who are the customers, who are the competitors, which decisions do I have to make, which variables are on my hand, and in the end, how big is the market, and each characters does it have. But it's much more related to strategy than to puzzles. Well, actually, I'm talking about business. And in this talk, I would like to speak about how to learn business, and I call it the adventure of learning about business. I've divided this presentation in three parts. So first, the steps I gave to start understanding it, the connections between them, and how those connections between those steps align them to create a meaning. First, I would like to have an idea of what were business. Well, I decided to study business administration when I was 15. And well, the way I chose were divided in 5 kinds of experience that I could face at the university. The first one was the academic one. Well, actually, it's going to the university by itself, having contact with different areas of knowledge. The second one is the extension, the extension of the university, the activities, the service that the university gives to the society. Well, I chose the junior enterprise. That is nowadays the biggest entrepreneur movement in the world. It's formed by a lot of students that create companies into the universities, but it's only made by students. The third experience was a researching experience that I started to face through an research. Through
Go back to the start of this. Go back to the start of the sentence and do it again.
The third one was the research experience that I experienced it through scientific initiation. The fourth one is an international experience. Each has been the most exciting of them. Well, actually, I choose a harp with the maple leaf to illustrate it. And the fifth one is the professional that I've started by doing an internship program in a financial information system and making some projects for private companies. One for a clothing some for a clothing company, one for a bakery shop. Oh, delicious project. And the third one for a medical clinic. Well, but how are those points aligned, and how would they make me learn about business? The first point, all of those experiences would make me graduate. But it's not that easy. Well, during the last 4 or 5 years, I've been feeling a bit lost, and my self-esteem was a bit low. But I learned something from a guy that you probably know. It's called Steve Jobs. Well, he said in a speech that we only could understand the connection between our decisions looking backwards, not forward. So those connections I would only understand in the future. But I would need to create a meaning for my idea of business. And well, actually, during those 4 last years, I realized that business are much more linked to people, to the employees, than to the factories or stores. That companies are bunches of contracts that are located in an office or, well, actually in a cloud nowadays. And also brands are not advertisement. Brands are not only the products. Brands are essentially the image, the concept, and all the associations that the customers have on their minds. Well, so where was the idea of business? Actually, another guy taught me something very important to my adventure. Is the cost of a small dream is actually the same cost of having a big dream. So what would be my big dream? My big dream is owning my own big company. And that should align all those experiences. And since I realized that this was my big dream, I started to see in every organization that I visit, I don't know, even for example in puzzles like this. I got this in Canada, here in Indigo, and I sold all of it to learn strategy. And well, actually, I understood that those experiences would make me understand what were business. But as I said, I was feeling lost during this time, and my self-esteem was low. But when I realized that business are much more linked to people, much more made by connections and the meaning that we give to them, my self-esteem, my big dream could drive me when I was lost, and I understood it better. That's it.